Jobs in Pods.
Welcome to Jobs in Pods, the only podcast where real employers talk about their jobs and tell you what it's like to work there. I'm your host, Peter Clayton. This is a diversity jobcast for Merck Company. Merck's ongoing mission to improve and extend human life requires the many talents and experiences of a multicultural global workforce. Today we'll discuss how they value and foster a diverse workforce. Joining us from company headquarters is Deb Dagit, Vice President of Diversity, Work Environment, and Employee Relations. Deb, welcome to Jobs in Pods.
Thank you, Peter.
Why is diversity such an important element of Merck's business strategy?
Well, in order for us to be able to attract and retain and develop the very best talent globally, we really need to have a compelling story to tell in terms of the kinds of careers people will have an opportunity to develop at our company and the ways that they can contribute to meeting our mission as a company, which is to meet unmet medical needs through the development of breakthrough medicines. And so that's the internal side of things. On the external side, it's also important that we reflect our global customer base. We do business in 144 countries and territories, and about half of our workforce and just a little under half of our revenue come from outside the United States. So it's very important that we understand that customer base. And that we understand how to deal with folks in a manner that is culturally competent and respectful, not only with regards to dimensions of diversity that we might typically think about, like race and gender or sexual orientation or ability, but also things like faith and generational differences.
Deb, can you give us a little more information on how a diverse workforce impacts Merck's business plan?
Well, actually, we have a really unique model at Merck. We have 10 global constituency groups made up of senior people from all of our geographies and business units. These represent men and women, the LGBT community, differently able, interfaith, generational, which we define as 30 and under and 50 and over. We also have Black, Asian, Hispanic, and Native and Indigenous groups. And in each of these groups, the way that they're informing our strategy is very important. They all answer the same 4 questions. 2 are internally focused, which include how can we accelerate leadership development for your group, as well as how can we create a more inclusive environment. On the external side, we ask the questions, how can we partner better with customers in your constituency? And what are the collaborations or strategic alliances that we should be thinking about with your constituency? How this informs our business strategy is we collect that information from all 10 of our teams. In many cases, we find the recommendations, although they have some nuances, also have many similarities on the internal side around flexible work arrangements and mentoring and some of the ways in which we provide accelerated development. Externally, we're finding we've gotten some excellent feedback on how we approach customer engagement and the types of strategic alliances that will have the most impact. So this information is then contributed to our strategic plan through the executive sponsors for each of the teams who bring that into the strategic planning process as well as succession planning and talent reviews.
Deb, can you explain to us how Merck has been recognized for its diversity efforts?
Sure. We were recognized through Working Mother Media the last 22 years for the excellence that we provide with regards to work-life integration and some of the resources and support we provide to working families. We've been amongst the Diversity Inc. magazine's top 50 companies since 2003, and this year we were number 21. We've also been recognized the last 3 years by the Human Rights Campaign on their Corporate Equality Index as having a perfect score of 100 in terms of the manner in which we include lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgendered employees. Also, 3 years ago, Merck received the New Freedom Initiative Award from the Department of Labor, which recognizes best practices in recruiting and developing people with disabilities in the workforce. So those are just some of the types of recognition we've received.
And I'm sure you get this question a lot. What is the value proposition to a diverse candidate to join Merck?
Well, I think there's a few things. One, it would be hard to argue that you were a contemporary 21st century company if you weren't paying attention to diversity. I think it's in keeping with an organization that's going to provide you with opportunities in a competitive global environment to be a part of a dynamic workforce and to not only bring the academic training that you've had and your work experiences, but who you are as an individual and the ways in which you're able to reflect you and your social network experience in the healthcare sector, which needs to inform our thinking. I also think it's important, if you're someone who's early in their career, to know that this is an organization who's found ways not to generalize or stereotype people based on the generation that they belong to, but has found a way to tap into the knowledge in terms of what are some of the things we need to be doing from a communications perspective, both with our employees as well as with our customers. So this podcast is an excellent example of thinking about what are the ways that people receive information in, 2008, 2009, and how can we be a part of that in terms of getting information that people need, whether it's about employment or about the products and healthcare needs that our customers have.
Can you tell us about the affinity groups or employee resource groups within Merck that diverse employees can benefit from?
Sure. In addition to the 10 global constituency groups made up of senior people, Merck also has had a long history of having grassroots-oriented organizations. There are 5 of them right now: Asian, Black, Hispanic, Latino, women, and we also have an LGBT group called Gleam. In each of these cases, we have significant number of employees involved. Right now, they're U.S. focused, but looking to grow to be international in the near future. And these groups provide enormous value and have been recognized by our CEO and other senior leaders as helping us in our outreach effort in terms of finding top talent and helping those folks to be successful when they join the company, providing an opportunity for people to further their careers through mentoring and to be involved in things that are very business-focused as well as philanthropic in our community. So these are tremendous leadership development opportunities, social networking, and we also have, although they're not called an employee resource group, we have a disability advisory council and a veterans advisory council that not only has people with disabilities and veterans serving on the team, but is a cross-functional team of people who represent site services, security, health, and safety, and they are able to then accelerate our ability to meet the needs of people with disabilities and veterans who are joining our workforce and inform our thinking around our strategies for accommodation and recruitment in a really targeted way.
That's really terrific. One last question for you, Deb. Why is Merck such a great company to work for, in your opinion?
Well, I would say number one is you really are tied to Merck's mission in terms of meeting the needs of our customers. And you really feel, regardless of the position that you have in the company, like you are part of the team that is saving people's lives and enhancing the quality of people's lives. It really is embedded into how we think about our jobs every day at Merck. So I think that line of sight, that sense of pride, if you look at the way in which we do business and how we're meeting unmet medical needs, that's a really exciting aspect of it. I think the other thing is that we have a plan to win, which is the formal name of our business strategy. And we're literally reinventing every aspect of our business, from how we conduct research and the work that we're doing in the area of biologics, which is a breakthrough new area of science that's very exciting, our commercial model and how we approach our marketplace, our manufacturing strategy, literally every aspect of what we do at Merck, we have been in the process of reinventing ourselves in order to address the changing needs of our customers and our marketplace. And so someone coming to Merck would be able to be a part of that, which is something that would really enhance someone's portfolio skills. It's very dynamic, and there's lots of opportunities to be a part of something very exciting and constantly changing.
Well, Deb, thank you very much for joining us on Jobs and Pods.
It's my pleasure, Peter.
Deb Dagit is Vice President, Diversity and Work, Environment and Employment at Merck Company. That will do it for this edition of Jobs and Pods. To apply for jobs within Merck Company, visit them online at merck.com, that's MERCK.com, and click on Careers. For more jobcasts like this, visit jobsandpods.com. And don't forget, you can also subscribe to our jobcasts on iTunes. Just do a keyword search